that takes place in the Garden of Gethsemane will play out over future seasons as well.
So I wanted to ask about the visions in the Garden of Gethsemane. I know those are very intentional and they have deeper connections to the story. How did those specific moments that you included kind of come to mind? And were there ever any other moments that you thought about including in that scene?
Some of this that takes place in the Garden of Gethsemane will play out over future seasons as well. So if you as a viewer were a little bit unsettled at times, or even somewhat in mystery, that was intentional. And as we always do in The Chosen, we don't let mysteries sit forever. We usually play them out. But I don't mind explaining, and I think the audience, if they think deeply about it, can understand that the three moments that Jesus has are all related to hope. So as he's remembering moments throughout history, and God is giving him these visions of moments throughout history, he thinks back to Abraham and Isaac, an opportunity where Abraham was willing to sacrifice his son, but at the last moment, God spared his son. Jesus is being sacrificed by his father. So he's saying, hey, maybe just like Isaac, I could be spared, which is true in the Gospels. He says, can I be spared from this? I will do your will, but if there's another way, please do it. He's thinking back to Ezekiel in the Valley of Dry Bones, which is a moment in the Old Testament where the prophet Ezekiel is given a vision of death. And it's death also, Ezekiel was asking, can these bones live? Can there be resurrection from these dead bones? And the answer, we don't show the answer in this episode, but there's a really beautiful moment in the book of Ezekiel where there's a given answer. And then seeing his earthly father, Joseph, coming to comfort him and say, I'll be waiting for you, and holding him and kissing him on the head. I think those are all just moments of hope and moments of comfort that Jesus was needing and wanting in his darkest hour.
When did you know that you wanted to portray the Last Supper out of order? And by the way, the aspect ratio change with that, I thought that was wonderfully done. Why did that work better than playing it out chronologically in a longer scene?
Yeah, the aspect ratio, we just really wanted it to feel a little bit more like a painting. Unlike most of our show where we're handheld and very loose, the Last Supper, we really were trying to evoke and I think play with the historical significance of the Last Supper painting, while also showing you this isn't actually a painting. These were real people. The decision to play it out over multiple episodes was simply, there's so much weight and so many extraordinary moments in the Last Supper. And in the Gospels, it's so long that to just do it in one episode and play it out chronologically, I think isn't emotionally sustainable. I think some of these key moments deserve their own moment and their own time and place and their own thematic significance. So we would take some of these moments and place them in episodes that had larger themes that matched or worked with the theme of that section of the Last Supper. And to put them all together at once, I think would have just been very, very, I think some of them would have competed with each other emotionally. In terms of doing it in reverse, part of it was we just thought it was a really great way to open the season. A very powerful and emotional way to open the season was near the end of the Last Supper, but also to really cause you to lean in. I think there's the temptation in a famous sequence to relax a little bit and to just kind of experience it in a way that you've expected it. Oh, and then now he's about to wash their feet. No, yeah, now he's going to give the speech about my body is, you're going to take my body and take my blood, and this is what this represents. And and it just becomes a little bit expected. By doing it in reverse, you really have to lean in, and you really have to absorb it. And I think that, combined with how we could take those moments and make them connected to the events of each episode, I thought provided for an artistically impactful way to portray what could be a more routine sequence.
So I want to just touch on season 6 really quick. Movies like The Passion of the Christ, it's done a great job of showing the brutality that Jesus went through. So how will season 6, with it showing the crucifixion, be unique from other projects that have focused on the crucifixion?
Mel Gibson did the brutality better than it's been done. I don't need to do that. It's not my specialty anyway. And I think he had something very specific he was saying in his movie. We're trying to say something and communicate something a little bit different. For us, we've got 5 seasons of relationships and truth and teachings and build up to this moment, to where I don't need to show Jesus's flesh being ripped off his bones in an explicit, almost torturous way to get you to feel something. I think you can feel something and learn something and understand something and be moved by something by seeing Jesus's mom react, by seeing Jesus's best friends wrestle with what he's going through, by seeing the religious leaders and Roman soldiers, some of whom we know, some of whom we've spent time with. We were introduced to Pilate in season 3. We've known Atticus since season 2. We've known Jesus's closest friends and his mother since season 1. There is so much weight and so many stakes at play and characters being developed in these moments that, for me to turn it into torture porn would be distracting and would cause the audience to want to distance themselves from it. And I want them to be to put themselves in this moment. So we will, of course, not deny the violence and the tragedy of the torture. It will just have so much more emotional weight than I believe we've ever experienced in a portrayal, because we have spent so much time with these characters. So I just have more tools in my toolbox as a filmmaker to communicate the significance of this moment than I think previous filmmakers have had.
I know that I'm definitely excited to see what is in store for season 6. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I enjoy everything that you do with the show, and just how you get it out to so many people. So I really appreciate it, and I thank you for it.
Well, thank you, Nathan. And I always love talking to you. You people don't see you coming. You talk kind of slow and Southern, but you're asking extremely pointed and deep questions, which I always appreciate. So we'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.